Hello everybody, I'm Dr. Nick Taylor and I'll be instructing this course through this session. I just want to go through a couple of things with Blackboard. I know several of you all have taken online courses, so following the course should be pretty similar to others that you've had in the past. For some of you, this is your first online course, so this will be a great way to kind of start introducing yourself to the online world. If you've worked in Blackboard, it's very similar. In fact, it's the same thing. It's just you've got to be able to follow the assignments and the guidelines and things like that more on your own rather than having a professor there in class to keep reminding you. I think that's the big difference. But let's go through some things for everybody just as a refresher and just to kind of introduce the course to you. Again, I'm Dr. Nick Taylor. You can reach me here. This is the main communication office phone number. As an adjunct professor, I don't have an office with the STC right now. But you can call that number and they'll get in touch with me. The best way to get in touch with me, though, is through email. If you email me, I can get back to you as quickly as possible. Sometimes that's within hours. Sometimes it's within 24 hours. It just depends, on the day and the time and when you email me and things like that. But this is a great way to initiate communication. If I can answer your question through email, great. I'll send you a response and we'll take care of it that way. If you have a more deep question or your concern is something that we really need to have a little bit more discussion about, we can hold Zoom meetings and WebExes and various things such as that to kind of have a more face-to-face discussion and longer discussion about your question. So when we're looking at Blackboard, we kind of split this course into two different parts. This course has been developed amongst several professors within who teach speech in South Texas College. And so you'll see this is a similar course to others out there, but it is broken into two parts. Here's the start here, that's the introduction. And then the course content, that's where you're going to find all the work you're going to be doing and all your instructional material. But again, if you start out here, there I am, and that's who I am, and this is my contact. This is real important for you to kind of memorize where it is because, well, it's how you're going to talk to me when you have concerns. And then there's a really deep and intensive amount of information on this page. You have your syllabus, you have the schedule and course policies, resources. This has been recognized as a Quality Matters qualified course by STC. But it kind of gives you all your information that you need to know. So, go through this page, look and take from it what you need, pay attention to the things that are important, but again, really pay attention to this stuff. Now, from the very first day, and where you're really going to want to start going into, is hitting course content. And this takes you through almost day by day what you're working on. So you've got to remember, with this being a session that goes by quickly, you're going to have assignments and work every day of the course almost, minus Saturdays and Sundays, although over Saturdays and Sundays you may need to be preparing presentations and assignments and bigger things such as that. But like I say, if you've worked in Blackboard before, you understand how to do this. But let's just go through some of the stuff so you can see it. So we'll start right here in day one. And day one is just kind of getting to know it. You're seeing everything. You have the knowledge quiz and different things like that. Go ahead and go back. Now, yours is going to look a little bit different than mine because you won't have this stuff. I'm looking at the instructor view of this course. But you'll have these folders. Let's go on into day two. Again, here's your introductory exercise. Here's the things you need to learn and memorize, and the ideas of the course. Here's some instructional material. And here's one of your first assignments. Now, to do assignments, for those of you who've done it before, you know this. If not, what you're going to do is read the instructions, answer these questions for this assignment. Here's your instructions. Here's what you need to do. Generally, when I've done these things, I've taken courses online and I've had to train to teach this course. I copy this stuff into a Word document so I can write it out. And this is important. Whenever you do an assignment, copy it somewhere else, because ever so often Blackboard has an error and it doesn't submit your assignment, or there's an issue. So when I ask you, or when you write to me, how come I don't have a grade for my personal introduction? And I write back and I say, well, I never received a submission from you. I have nothing to grade, therefore I've got to count it as a 0. Let me go ahead and start getting some juice into this thing before my computer dies. I'll say, do you have the assignment? Can you email me the assignment? And I'll give you a time period. I'll say you have to email it to me within 4, 5, 6 hours, depending on the time of day again. And if you can email it to me, then I can go ahead and provide a grade for you. If you can't email me your work, well, I don't have the evidence that it was completed. So copy and paste it, do it somewhere else. But anyway, when you're ready to do the assignment, you're going to click. And here is a discussion. So everybody's going to create threads, and if you've done discussions, you have a pretty good idea. If you haven't done discussions, it's pretty easy to follow. I'm not going to create a thread here, but if you're the first person to come in and do it, or if you're doing a new thread, just click in Create Thread, and you can copy and paste your work into there. Do not attach files. I cannot stress this strongly enough. Files, I can't download from Blackboard with any reliability, so they just get counted as zeros. Copy and paste your work in. So that's that. So discussions that's discussions. Let's see if we have here. Again, you have you'll see it's very similar. Here's a quiz. Let's look at this quiz. Quizzes will take you through. You'll click on the quiz, and then when you're ready to begin, just click. I'm not going to click the begin button because then it's going to start and I'll have to go through the whole quiz, but click begin and it'll take you through. And then again, here's another discussion. Do the exact same as we've said before. And it's really that simple. They just keep following through. There's Thursday the 4th, and here we come into week 2. Monday, and this really, you have Fridays to work on your assignments and do anything. Everything is open already, so if you do decide you want to work ahead, that of course is your option. But that's basically the quick overview of this course. It's a lot. It's an intensive course. There's a lot going on, and what you really have to do is make sure at some point during the day you're always coming in and doing your work. Because as you can see, as I mentioned before, every day throughout these next 5 weeks, you will have an assignment. So that's, I think, important. You do have 2 tests, and the tests run like the quizzes. The tests aren't open yet because we don't want you to have the questions ahead of time. But when you're ready, you'll click in, and it'll have a thing that says begin, and you'll be ready to go. Anyway, okay. So that's that. This is Blackboard. Again, please, if you take nothing away from this video, remember that my contact information. Remember to check the course every day. Well, my contact information, make sure you ask me any questions you may have. Make sure you contact me whenever you have concerns. And that you are going into the class every single day and clicking on the folder that corresponds with that day. With that, that's it. That's the overview. I'm looking forward to getting to know each of you, to reading your ideas and hearing from you about the course content and the things that are going on. And let's rock and roll. It's going to be a great session.